Hello everybody, it's Dio from Firm But Fair Gaming bringing you another video. Enjoying all the videos and content we produce, don't forget to click on that subscribe button, click on that like button, and don't be afraid to share. Don't forget to click on the notification button, customize it however you want, but that way you're notified whenever we publish another video. Hello everybody, and welcome to another Diablo 3 Season 26 guide video. So today we are looking at a monk, and we are going to be doing the Legacy of Dreams build. So for those that are unfamiliar with the Legacy of Dreams build, or as it's commonly known, LOD, it is not basically, it is, you cannot have any set bonuses. So you could wear a set item, like here we have the Blackthorn's pants, but there is no other Blackthorn pieces, so we have no set bonuses. And the reason we want this, and the only reason the build works, is because the Legacy of Dreams gem, which can only rank up to rank 99, is while you have no set bonuses equipped, every legendary item you have equipped increases your damage by a certain percent and reduces your damage taken by 2%. And then that effect is doubled at rank 20. When you get rank 25, it's doubled for ancient items. So then ancient items would give you twice the bonus of your plus damage. So here my rank is only 96 because I'm been lazy and haven't topped it out yet. And so basically for an ancient item, that would mean that it's 726. And then it would also be 4% damage reduction instead of the 2%. Primals count as ancient items because it's a ancient primal or whatever it says, so therefore they would get the double bonus on primal items as well. And so the goal is to have all 13 pieces that you're wearing ancient items or primal or ancient, so that you're getting twice the damage and twice the damage reduction. So that is the gist of how it works with the gem and the items you're going to get. So you're just going to be collecting a bunch of non-set items. There is no set pieces that we're looking for. We want ancient items of this type of item. So as I keep saying, this type of item and all that stuff, let's actually take a look at what items you need for this build. So let's take a look at the items that we're going to use for this build. So I'm just going to throw out first off the bat, it is a Wave of Light build. So the skill we're going to be using is the Wave of Light. So this is a particular one. And so it's also going to be benefit from, I was going to try to think of the word. What word do I want to say? Not compensates. It is enhanced. That's the word I was after. Is enhanced by our Mystic Ally. So we're also going to have, so basically the items we're going to wear is things that, give Mystic Allies a bonus as well as Wave of Light a bonus. All right, now that I got that out of the way and done stumbling over my words, let's take a look at the items we need. So we want Kryn's Gaze for the helmet, or it's a Spirit Stone. So if you're trying to make it out of Kanai's cube, do not craft a bunch of yellow helmets and then go over there to the cube and try to make it. This is a Spirit Stone. So if you're going to try to make it out of the cube, make sure it's a Spirit Stone. So, and the reason we want Kryn's Gaze is because now Wave of Light is cast at your enemy. So it basically duplicates our cast. So we're going to get the damage boost out of that. For our shoulders, we're going to go with Lefebvre's Soliloquy. If I mispronounce anything, just forgive me. I suck at this. But anyway. So, and this is a survivability item. So when we Cyclone Strike, which is going to be one of our skills, we're going to reduce our damage taken by 47% for 5 seconds. For our neck, we are going with Squirt's Necklace for damage. So when we're not taking damage, as you can see, I'm sitting on 10 stacks. So for each stack, I get 10% damage increase. And then we're going to take up to 50% damage until we take damage, and then that'll decrease. So we get 5% damage taken per stack. For our chest, we're going to be using the Cinder Coat for 2 reasons. One, it has fire damage on it. And 2, the cost of our fire skills is reduced by a certain percent. And the Wave of Light costs a bunch of spirit. So we want to keep that so that we can spam it when we're going into our DPS phase. Our gloves for survivability, we're going with Stone Gauntlets. So this Getting hit increases our armor by 50%, but it reduces our movement speed and attack speed by 20%, and this can stack up to 5 times. So we can, if we reach 5 stacks, we can become immobile where we can't move, but then we're going to have skills that basically are going to remove that impairing effect. And thus we're going to get the stacks of the bonus armor and ignore everything else. The only problem we'll run into is if, basically, so we have Epiphany is going to counter that. If Epiphany is on CD and we reach 5 stacks, we're going to become a statue. But with the way the build is based, that shouldn't become an issue. For our bracers, so I'm going to just run over the cube because we have 2 bracers that we need. So the first one that we want is Bindings of the Lesser Gods, because enemies hit by our Cyclone Strike take up to 200% increased damage from our Mystic Ally for 5 seconds. Again, that's one of our skills that we want to buff. And then the other one is Pinto's Pride, where Wave of Light slows enemies by 80% for 3 seconds and deals 150% increased damage. That's both going to be a damage increase to Wave of Light, as well as the slow is going to give us survivability in the sense that we can run away from the enemies that we're attacking or stay away from them and not get hit. So based on whichever one you have the better of is what you would put in your bracer slot, which is why I have bindings, because I got the 196 modifier here. It is currently better than any of the Pintos that I've been able to craft or find so far. And obviously this is an ancient. I'm going to worry about getting them all ancient as I go along, but I just wanted to cover the pieces in the guide first, because it might be quite resource intensive in order to get them all ancient. The belt. So we're using the Witching Hour. And the reason that we're going to do this is because it has a chance to be a triple DPS item. So as you can see here, we got attack speed, critical hit, in the crit there. So that is what we're after. And then I could re-roll this into another ability. What do I have here? Reach. So that's useless, but we can have some vitality there for survivability. But we're going to get more attack speed increase as well as a critical hit damage that we otherwise wouldn't have. Then for our rings, because we're a little bit squishy, we're going to wear Unity. So Unity is all damage taken is split between wearers of this item. So you want to make your follower also wearing this item. I just by default always grab the Templar. Not one that I'll probably use when I start pushing. I will go to the Enchantress, but it doesn't matter. Any of them can wear it. So you give it to your followers so that the 50% of the damage you take is given to them and they absorb it. And then they need to have their follower cannot die relic, whatever token, whatever it is that they have, Enchantress Focus. Basically, your follower has to have it where they can't die, so they can constantly take 50% of the damage that you take, basically giving you 50% damage reduction. So that is one thing. And also the benefit from here is it has, as you can see, the unique affix on the Unity is increases damage against elites by up to 15%. So that is a bonus as well. The other ring that we're wearing is the Convention of Elements. So as you can see down here, it's cycling through my different things. And basically this is because when it's going to add 200% more damage to that element. So basically when we get into our fire, we would then spam our Wave of Light to deal 200% more damage in our fire cycle there. The other ring that we're going to need, might as well go over to the cube as I've already been over here a couple times, is the Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. So this is because it reduces the remaining cooldown of one of your skills by 1 second when you hit with a resource spending attack. So as we're spamming our Wave of Light as we're progressing through the rift, it is going to give us 1 second off a CD, helping get Epiphany off CD so that we can, use it quicker, because that's what's going to stop us from being immobilized, as well as help us deal all our damage. We need this up because this is what actually does all the damage as well. So while Epiphany is active, that is actually our burst damage stage. So moving on, the pants that we want is Blackthorn's Jousting Mail. So these are the legs because of the unique elemental affix. So here, as you can see there, fire skills deal 15% more damage. That's what we want. It's going to help us deal more damage. The best pants that we can get for this build. For our boots, we are going with the Crutus boots because Mystic Ally now summons 2 Mystic Allies that fight by your side, and they deal up to 200% increased damage and are able to attack with their forms active longer. So these are our Mystic allies. So this is again going to boost one of our skills. So that's why we have that. And for our weapons, getting a little bit long-winded here, but it's all good information. The one weapon, let's start with this one. Okay, so Kairoshiro's Blades. So this, we want this because it increases the damage of Wave of Light by 150%. When the initial impact of your Wave of Light hits 3 or fewer enemies, the damage increased by up to 250%. So that basically means it's going to deal more damage against isolated targets, like a Rift Guardian, for example. And then we're going to go with Rabid Strike for the other one. So Spirit Spenders that teleport you while Epiphany is active are also mimicked on a nearby target with 300, well, up to 450% increased damage for free. So that is why Epiphany is going to be our big damage period. While it's active, this increased damage is going to nuke everything. So usually I break this apart and cover the cube on its own, but we've already covered 2 slots of the cube. So the last slot of the cube is we want Incense Torch of the Grand Temple, which reduces the spirit cost of Wave of Light by 50% and increases its damage by 550%. So this we need 100% in order to also nuke everything, and this completes all the items that we're looking for in order to use this build. All right, now for the skills. So I've thrown up a video here down on the bottom. So this is just me running a 102 just to kind of show you some gameplay of how it works. Yeah, that's all about all that's going on down there. Yeah, I know it's only a 100, but my gear is not that great, and I was just playing around with it, just experimenting and having some fun with it. So it was still a pretty solid run, pretty quick. I know that it has a lot of up potential. I only have a couple ancient items. Once I start to augment as well as get the rest of them ancient, I easily know that I'll be able to push quite far. It's not as solid pushing as the Innis is, but it's not too far behind. Like they're almost neck and neck almost. I think the more Paragon you get, this might even surpass it. So anyways, I got sidetracked there. Jumping in. So there we go. Our abilities, getting tongue-tied here. So, of course, we are going to be using Wave of Light, and the rune we're going to do with that is Explosive Light. So it just releases bursts of energy that deal fire damage to enemies, which, of course, we're going to be rocking elemental, or the fire as our elemental damage. Excuse me, so that is key. Then our next one is our Mystic Allies. So these are the 2 ones that we've been buffing with all the items that we're wearing. So we're using Air Ally with the Mystic Ally because that will fully replenish our spirit. So basically we're going to be spamming Wave of Light, and then when we need to use our Air Ally, they're going to deal some damage as well as give us our full spirit. We're also using Cyclone Strike with Implosion. So Implosion is going to bring more enemies towards you and blast them. And this also procs our shoulders, which is going to give us our damage reduction, so survivability. We're also using Dashing Strike as our movement skill, and we are using Radiance on this, and we're going to get increased attack speed after dashing, which is going to let us get more attacks out during our fire cycle from the Convention of Elements. Our big damage buff here is going to be Epiphany with Desert Shroud. So this is a 60-second CD, but it basically increases your spirit regeneration and enables your melee attacks and going to dash you to your target for 15 seconds. So that is going to proc our other weapon that we're using for the big damage increase. And so make sure that you always have this up. It keeps us alive and is our damage burst. So that is what we're going to try to keep off CD and up as often as possible, utilizing the Ring of the Zodiac. And lastly, our other defensive for when Desert Shroud is down and we're starting to get a little bit slowed due to our Stone Gauntlets, we're going to be using Serenity with Ascension, which is going to make us immune to all attacks and control effects for 4 seconds, hopefully buying us enough time to get Epiphany off CD and back into it. For our passives, we are going to be using the Guardian's Path, so give us an increased dodge, so 35% chance to dodge, and that is going to be key to not take damage, so and also keep us hopefully from not having our Stone Gauntlets gain stacked too quickly. We're also using Seize the Initiative here, so dealing damage to enemies above 75%. increases your attack speed by 30% for 4 seconds. Again, getting us hopefully to get more attacks out during our fire cycle. Harmony is going to increase 40% of your single elemental resistances from items. Instead, increase your resistance to all items. We're dex base, so dexterity is going to turn in armor, plus we have a lot of dodge. So this is, we're really susceptible to magic damage, so this is going to help with that. Then lastly, we're running Beacon of Yigtar, so reduce all cooldowns by 20%, which is going to help get Epiphany and our Mystic ally off CD so we can use them much sooner. And of course, we don't have a second life. That is what the follower is for. We're respect into the second life from them, which can proc once in. Before I forget, I better cover the legendary gems. So we covered the one, obviously, the Legacy of Dreams. So while we have no step bonuses equipped, every item is going to increase our damage and our damage reduction. I covered that at the start of the video. The other ones that we're going to be using are, we're going to be using Enforcers, so it increases the damage of our pets by a certain percent, and our pets take less damage. So this is for our our Mystic ally. And then also we are going to have Bane of the Stricken, so each attack you make against an enemy increases the damage it takes from your attacks, and it stacks. And also at rank 25, we gain 25% increased damage against bosses and Rift Guardian. So every time we attack, so here at rank 91, it's going to increase my damage by 1.7, and that stacks for each subsequent attack. So the longer you have to fight something, the more damage you deal, which is going to help you kill it. And then for our regular gems, we are running diamonds and everything. So in our helm, we're getting cooldown reduction. In our armor, our chest and pants, we're going to get resist all. So we have magic resistance. And then lastly, in our weapons, we're running emeralds for the critical hit damage increase in both of them as well. So that brings us to the end of the video. If you have any questions or comments about the build, please let me know. I'll be happy to help you out. It is a little bit challenging at first, just as you get a sense of your survivability. Working with Stone Gauntlets, once it starts to feel like your guy is really slow, just remember that that is probably what is happening to you. It's not your connection. It does take a little getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, it is quite powerful. You recognize your burst windows with your Convention of Elements and with your Epiphany, and you're going to realize that the channeling pylon is your best friend, and that's when you're going to be able to get a lot of progress in your maps, as that is going to help you keep Epiphany up all the time as long as it lasts. So look out for that, and it will be just magic when you find one of those. So as I was saying, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know below. I'll do my best to help out. As always, we appreciate likes, shares, and subscribes. So please click those buttons. And also keep coming back to the channel. We're getting a bunch of guides out for Season 26 here in Diablo 3. So keep coming back to take a look at and check out our other guides. So until next time, I hope you're enjoying Season 26, and we'll see you in the next video.